So hi guys, welcome to my usual show. This is a push and pull, and my usual show is youth and politics. And today's topic is gender equality in politics. So also today I'm happy to host three guests here, and I'll give them 1 minute each to introduce themselves.
My name is Charity Cheruto. I'm a BBIT student, year 2, second semester, and I'm here with the host. Today we're going to talk about politics.
Hello guys, it's me once again, Rocky Nicholas, a student undertaking BCom, and I'm a political analyst and still a member of the Ford Kenya. And today we are gladly going to speak about women and politics.
Hi, I'm Pascalia. I'm doing IT. We're here to talk about gender inequality or equality in politics.
So to start with Pascalia, could you please tell us what is your understanding with the topic of today, gender equality in politics?
I feel like it's basically opening up to people to be aware about who a person is more than just the physical appearance or where you would subscribe to either male or female. So yeah.
So now let me pose this question to Charity. So Charity, we are talking about gender equality in politics.
Yeah.
So far we've seen women trying up and down to get these leadership positions. Now, how many female leaders are there? In fact, the youthful leaders that are there, that we've seen, that we have, you can brag around and say we have this and this and this female leader, and is below 35 years.
Personally, I don't think women should actually brag, especially women in politics, because they're trying to mimic the way men are acting in politics. When men throw words of insult, they try to do the same. When men do this, they try to be like that. When instead they should bring a new viewpoint in politics that at least we are voting for someone because they're that person, not because I'm not voting for Pasaris because she acts like Sonko. I'm voting for Pasaris because I know what she stands for. Personally know of two people. I think there's a senator and there's also a women rep. I think right now, ages 26 and 28, if I'm not wrong. Those are the ones I know as youth. I'm not completely sure about the rest, but those are the ones I know of right now.
So, to assist you, I can talk of Masu Wanjiru, who is an MP of Kasarani, and also we have somebody by the name Grace Sundukwa from Bungoma County, and he's a MCA, member of County Assembly. Yeah, but we have also other few women who are the youths outside here. Yeah.
So mentioning of this, do you think this is a good start? Because in the recent past, we've not had these youths who are females coming up to vie for these leadership opportunities. Anyone can answer this. Do you think this is an encouragement that now, come 2022, we'll have so many female leaders that will come up?
Wow. That's a good question to ask. And when giving on the trends of lately, the past year, the general election, one thing you come and notice when you check on the 2017 general election, there was a great improvement in the number of women who were elected. Because from before, we never had any woman who is a governor or a senator. But in 2017 general elections, we had a woman elected as senator and also a governor. In the same way, when you check on the statistics, we have 173 elected women in those all posts. We have 173, which is a great improvement. So we are expecting in upcoming elections that they will turn up. That is what we are trying to advocate for, women to turn up at least so that there can be gender equality in the parliament.
Just to second what he's saying, as much as he's saying there is an improvement, I believe we still have more room for us to show the improvement he's talking about. Because out of all the people who are showing up, who are showing interest here and there about the positions that are being posted out there, I feel like they come, but most of them don't have palm crowns. they come with shaky faith. They're here, they're wondering if it's going to be possible, and they still come with this attitude that Charity is talking about. I want to be like this guy. I want to stand like this guy. So you're not coming with your own persona. You're not coming with your identity. Yeah.
Okay, to add on that, one thing we come and notice is that according to the Kenyan constitution, it states that 1/3 of the parliament, one-third of the parliament should consist of women. But when you check on our statistic, we'll come and notice that we have 23% of the women in parliament. And this 23% consist of even those who are nominated in those seats which have been set in the parliament. So there's a lot we have to do concerning.
On that point, you know the reason as to why people favor the male over the female, it's because of the mentality we have as a culture. We're used to men dominating areas, hence when you see a woman vying, for example right now if we had an election and we said that amongst us there's one president, I'm sure most people will vote for the men because of the culture they have, the mentality. They say that men, they are firm in choices, they know what to do, they've been in this before. Hence, we hate trying new grounds. We don't like new grounds. We don't like change at all.
But we understand that since time immemorial, we men have been taking care of children in the house. That they're supposed to be in the house, and then
how uneducated of you to say that?
No, I'm just saying of what my grandfather is, or what he thinks.
Well,
remember, like for example, he's the only man here.
Yeah.
If we're told to choose a gentleman to go represent you, or one person to go represent you, you will always say,
I will
because
choose
we're the only man here, please go represent us. Is it true or not false?
No, I don't think that's true. First, let me just clarify this. You are saying women are meant to take care of children and stuff. I would put men as children in this case. Because I remember, I think as we have been taught previously, in many occasions, we are being taught over how Mauma were fighting. Do you realize that you guys, okay, not you guys, because I'm sure you guys are not the ones you're fighting, but the men who were fighting, the Mauma fighters, they needed women to bring food, to take care of the people who were getting hurt during the war and other things. Does this mean you guys are children? Are men children? If men are children, then I feel like us as mothers, we have a higher ground, higher position, higher post other than the children.
But the problem is,
take care of who? Take care of who?
No, I feel like us, we're so used to having the background idea of, so when the big picture is outside, we are usually behind the frame. People never want to focus on the people who are behind the frame because this frame will not stand without a stand behind. And most of the instances, we are the stand. And you guys are very busy ignoring the fact that our frame will not stand without a firm stand.
I think we should elaborate. You see this fact that says, behind every successful man
there has to be
a successful woman. You have to mention that.
Let me cut you short. We all understand that men are the head, women the neck, isn't it? We agree with that.
You might be the head, we are the body. Whichever card is which, you have to choose which one has a heavier weight, of which they have to complement each other.
And the head, which one directs the other?
I feel like if the neck has a problem, this head will not stand.
Exactly.
If the neck has, you're aching, your neck has an issue somewhere here, trust me, your head will not be firm. You cannot even stand and tell people this or the other. Because your head will be either slanting or something will happen to your head without that neck being okay.
This mentality that you guys are carrying right now is the same mentality you'll pass around to your children. Yes. It's the same mentality your children will pass on to other generations, and hence not change the game. This is not even a game, this is a real life situation, of which I think the question should not be men and women, it should be the best candidate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be it the gender, be it the religion, be it of anything that's gonna hinder that, it should be best candidate.
Then, why is it that when you have the best candidate being a male, being elected, why do you keep on fighting to be appeased?
Who's
fighting?
Like women want to be appeased that no, we want this. Recently we had that we want to scrap away the women reps. And then people are like, no. We have no fair representation in the government
But it's
now.
true now.
Is it not appeasement?
The reason
We
as
need
to
the-
why
Mhm.
we have women rep in parliament, it's because we didn't have fair representation of women in general. As you see, we had few women, hence the rights of women were not being voiced enough. As you can see, so many development is happening right now. We are having the PAD, we are having the what. The changes that are surrounding women, it's because of the women in parliament. It's not because we lacked a better candidate. We didn't lack a better candidate. It's just that men cannot voice the opinions of women the way we want to. We need someone who is like us to voice it.
I don't get why he's saying leadership women positions should be scrapped out.
Yeah.
Why on earth are you even doing that? Because we are less of humans or what? I don't get why people want to scrape it out, because you haven't tried our abilities. You are busy seeing our inabilities. The things that you're seeing outside, it's actually a mentality you guys have in your head. You don't want to see what a female can do, because you guys only believe in I think you guys literally look at your physique and believe that the muscle is about showing strength. I don't believe in that, because you guys, honestly, if I was to speak, I feel like you guys are more weaker than we are.
But lately,
We have the ability of containing things. I don't see.
You have a weaker flesh.
We don't see patience in most of the men, by the way. Because if you realize, for us women, for the women in power, to start mimicking or imitating the men, it's because, okay, I don't know, it's a fault on our side, but something that should be corrected. But a man, it's known to be that men are the ones who are going to start insulting the other, or you use very abusive language, and then maybe somewhere, with all the patience women have, you get to the brim of everything and we explode.
but
I mean, it's normal even for a container. When you put too much water, it is bound to do something. It's either the water will overpour or something will happen. But when you put too much pressure on us, do not expect anything less of an explosion.
So,
But one thing we'll have to consider, this is politics. And in politics, we need firmness.
And I don't
And in
think
the firmness,
politics,
that's
religion, women
why
only.
you find that there is that mimicking or what. They are from different political party. And in order for now, mostly when you consider in politics, when you want to be known, that is a culture like it is there. In order to be known, you have to be tough. Something
You have to be abusive.
Yeah.
You
What
have
is
to be
toughness,
abusive.
in fact? Yeah.
What is toughness? You guys are
This is
fighting for
toughness
dominance
to them.
that's not there.
This is toughness.
You guys
Okay,
have to
in terms
use
of
words.
okay.
Is it no? Let me just comment on something. Let me comment on something. Recently, you've had the case of that boy who went on the roof and starting off bombs and everywhere. But we blamed the boy. But why don't we blame this guy? What's his name? This guy of Embakasi,
Babu Wino.
Babu Wino, when he says words that literally even the dictionary itself is insulted. Yes. He lacks decorum in his speech, and yet we go to a boy
And you start
that's
blaming.
10 years, and a grown man with kids, goes and insults people in a public place and people are clapping. But when a woman, we just say
That's
one word. One word.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's the difference between a woman wearing a short skirt and a man saying abusive languages. They're both insults. But when Akothe went to parliament with a short skirt,
You guys are up in arms.
you are up in arms.
One thing we'll have to consider,
Up in arms.
in the parliament, you will come and realize in the parliament that there are rules that's governing each and every conduct that isn't there. And that's where you find that most people are being chased out of the parliament because of their conduct. So when you bring an example of Akode, she went against the rules and regulations of the parliament.
I'm not saying she
Because-
wasn't wrong. I'm not saying she wasn't wrong. She was really at fault. But why don't we judge men equally?
Yes.
Now let's
Okay.
finish that
Equality.
question. Let's focus on another
Equality.
question. I know the
Okay.
topic is quite interesting, but let's focus on the main topic.
Before you go
today.
to the main topic.
So no. I won't give you time for that. Like
Why
now,
would you not allow
let me ask
women?
this question to Charity again. So what's the main challenges that are facing women so that they can take up these leadership opportunities?
What
the
are
main
the-
challenges
the main-
that are facing women? For you to find that want to be appeased, you have to be. What is the main challenge that cannot make you go to
Excuse
the
me.
ground?
Let me cut you down. Appeased with what?
Yes. How?
We don't want you guys to feel pity. We don't want pity results. We don't want you guys simply because men are dominating at you guys are giving us
Favors.
watch our wanawake take the rest of the seats. We don't want that.
So what's the
But
challenges?
how
that
many-
What we want is to be heard. We want our voices to be heard. We want us when you're playing the court, there are no cheat codes. Men cannot play a fair game, and that's it. Tell me a man who has never insulted in a public
way, and
ground,
you can count
who has never cheated in elections, and I know that we cannot now Google that, because we know people who have cheated in
But
elections.
leave alone the story. You are escaping from the question. I've asked you what are the main challenges that are facing women for them to go for these leadership opportunities like men.
Who was representing early marriages in parliament before women came in? Who was representing FGM before women came in? Who was representing the people in Lodwar who were suffering before women came in? Who was representing the lack of pads in the northern areas before women came in? Who was representing the children who were not able to go to school before women came in? Who was representing this scheme, small biasharas of women in the streets before women came into
And
parliament?
who is up in arms when
All you know, all men
to the babies on their hands?
all men know is to ask for money. We need money to build this road. We need money to build this. But what the people who are building it? Who's taking care of them? We're just taking care of infrastructure after infrastructure. Who's taking care about the citizens? We voted for people.
Give me the challenge.
I've given you multiple challenges.
One thing with you, once you said that you are never had, okay, that is one thing you said.
Yes.
But do these people turn up? How many women are turning up into the election post in order to be voted for?
Let me tell you why.
Fear.
Let me tell you why. If I'm used to something happening, I will not try change it in any way. If I'm used to the student body containing of men, I will not try and go be the first one and get humiliated. Everyone is afraid of getting ashamed in parliament.
Change is inevitable.
So let
Change is
me direct
inevitable.
this to Pascalia.
Okay.
In 2013, we have this lady, is it Matakarua, who turned up to vie as a president.
Yeah, sure.
She's a female, isn't it? How many female Kenyans turned up to vote for her? Because I believe if all the women turned up to vote for her, she could be the president right now.
You are asking the wrong question. You're asking the wrong question. You are asking why women didn't turn up to vote for Mother Karua. Why don't you ask why women didn't turn up to vote for the right candidate? We didn't say Mother Karua is the right candidate. We're not saying simply because we are women, we are going to vote for any Mary, Jane, and Doe who's gonna come your way.
It's about the abilities. What are you offering people? I'm not saying she didn't have palatable information for us or something that all of us would want to share in the government in case she was in, yeah? But the thing here is, it's not about the gender. It's about what are you offering people. You get what I'm saying? It's not about because it's a she or a he, then you get this. No. It's about what you're offering. And before you stopped me, I really wanted to know why you people are not seeing humanity as something of essence. If a woman comes to parliament with a baby and you're already there up in arms and you want to throw her out with her baby, do you realize you're a baby once before you grow up to become something of that height? And do you even people stop to think about that? I usually feel like women, we have so much humanity in us that people choose to ignore. And it's really not nice, something that should be changed by everyone. Yes. That should
I hope
stop.
people are listening. But
Yeah,
now,
I really want
we
people
know
to know
that even if at your workplace, we are not allowed to go with the baby.
Who said?
You can ask for permission.
Safaricom was recently voted as the best company to work for. Do you know why? There's a room in Safaricom, big room, specially dedicated to women with children. And there are nurses to take care of these children. Tell me why Parliament can do that. With all the money going in, why would all the money going in? All we know how to
Parliament is a place of order.
Yes.
The Parliament is a place of order. What is the work of the Parliament? They're there to make regulations that govern the country. So when you bring a baby there,
so when I get a baby, I'm impeached. I'm impaired.
Okay,
Can't make
there is an allowance given.
I'm impaired.
There's some allowance given.
Who said a baby can make? But I just recently gave birth. So I can't come with my baby simply because when I give birth, I'm impaired from making decisions. You said the Parliament is a place where
we make decisions.
And I've come there as a mother 2 months.
Okay,
it's a place where decisions are made, rules are made, and that is where we see all kind of mediocrity.
Exactly.
And when a baby comes in, it's a big deal. But when you people sit there and men want to snore in Parliament, you want to insult and do all those things you people do, it's nothing serious. But someone coming with a human being, Do you know this baby? In fact, if we were to go to the religious way, if Jesus was not had by the, who are these prophets or what? These teachers of law, those times, if they
The
didn't
scribes.
sit down, whoever those people were, they sat down and listened to Jesus, a minor, giving very wise ideas. Things that even these people with grey hair could not think of.
Okay.
Are you telling me
A girl asked, no, the last question a girl asked to Uhuru, what can you say after your presidency is over? What can you say you did? Uhuru couldn't answer that question because he knows what. What did he do?
Tell us what he knows
Tell us.
first.
What did he do?
Tell
Well,
us.
that is something.
But he has done a lot. We've seen. We've seen a lot.
What?
We've seen a lot that is happening.
Aside from the stories that he's splitting from Uhuru, he's jumping to Raila, he's going where?
Okay. Now, what's the role of women in politics? I know, you want to... Don't slaughter me, please. I'm just innocent. I'm an innocent body here. So, what are the main roles of women in politics? Like, if you join politics, what are you going to do? What's your
I
role?
feel like our
What
roles
can you
are really
do?
not outlined yet because you guys are busy eating up our positions. So the roles are really not outlined as much. Because women come in and you're being pushed to so many weird corners, and I don't get what you people want. Because women cannot execute their plans or good intentions with that kind of pressure you people are giving us.
What do you mean? What's the roles of women?
So, remember, like recently...
A woman is still a politician.
Yeah.
You're still a politician.
A man is
the
still a
role?
politician.
What's the
Yeah.
role?
What is the role of a politician in politics?
Yes.
That's the question. That's what's the role of a woman in politics. Why are you separating the genders? Because that's when you create inequality.
Yeah.
That's when you teach us there's a difference between a man and a woman. There's a difference because a man gives us dominance, a woman gives us submission.
But we must agree there's a difference.
There's a difference, but we are not.
Physically...
The difference.
You see,
Let me tell you.
I hope everyone is seeing the way he's thinking.
Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. I don't blame you for leaning towards the male side. You've completely just lost you've just gone to societal norms, yeah? But then the thing is, it's not about equality. It's about we are differently, we are like different, but we are differently able. What a man can do, it's not like a woman can't do. It's just that I cannot do it maybe as equally as you, but I can do something else better than you.
Okay.
And
Now,
in fact, what she has said is the real deal. It is not a man or a woman. It's you as a politician. Because I feel like you cannot start telling us the roles of a woman. So when a man says this, a woman's duty is to second the information. No way. That is not what you're meant to do there. We can make the first deal and then you guys second up.
Now, let me
But you're not
tell you
giving
this.
us that field.
You've said...
You're not giving us that field.
You have heard someone saying, I don't mention, but you've said that women don't start insults. There's a certain lady, was it in 2016? I know this clear that Millie Odhiambo, member of Parliament, if you continue bothering me, I will wear my high heels and catwalk. Do you remember that statement?
Yes,
Yeah,
and you have said it
yeah.
clear. If you continue doing what? What? Exactly.
One thing both of you should have to understand, as I said before, one of the things that you have to understand, as I said before, that when you're in politics, that is it's a totally different ground that we are placed. In such a way, there's a lot of propaganda, a lot of abuses which are there. And why are all this there? They're there.
You're a human being.
Yeah?
You're a human being.
You're a human
to
being,
be annoyed
but
when someone is pushing.
In one way or another, to them, it is like something that to show power, to show that you have the authority.
Is that right or wrong?
Yeah?
Is it right or wrong? That is the way you'll answer your question and his. Is it right or wrong?
Okay, it is wrong.
It's wrong. So you're not supposed to show power.
Okay.
Exactly.
It is
You're not
wrong,
supposed to show power.
You're already in power.
How do we citizens believe in you if you do not have power? If me and you are equal, then what?
Why do I vote for you?
Then what? You and me are equal. Okay, fine. Not equal in that way, but if we cannot see, what do you call this? Ranks. Like there's a way your hierarchy. I mean, yeah. If the hierarchy is not defined, then what is going on? Is it a state or what? Then this is just probably a homestead. One large, huge homestead with no father, no mother. All of us are just
Kids.
So
No
as we wind
hierarchy.
up, as we wind up, this is the last question, and I'll
I think
give
you've answered yourself though.
everyone of you.
Yourself, yeah.
You've answered yourself.
I know you are not stinging him.
No. He's actually open-minded. You just...
Please agree to disagree. Please agree to
No,
disagree.
you're trying to
because
make
here,
this seem like what he's
Okay.
saying.
I'll give you a security when you live here. I'll give
No, you
you
see,
sure.
This is so wrong.
I'm giving each of you,
so
as we
wrong.
wind up, 1 minute to tell me what can we do to ensure the gender equality in Kenyan politics and leadership opportunities.
Number one, get rid of mentalities like Ruben's. Why you want
How
to
that
give?
Ruben-
Exactly.
Why you want to give? You're Rocky.
Yeah.
You want to give Rocky security because two ladies who are not even armed are here. That is
We are not
that is
armed.
such a bad mentality. If it's going
So
to
remove the mentality
the
here.
bad mentality of Ruben's kind should be eliminated. Number two, stop having this idea of women want to be pleased. Who said
Who
that?
said so?
And where? That is so wrong. Number three, please, let's have fair grounds. We cannot be playing soccer and you give us a rugby ball and you expect us to score the same way you guys are scoring. You're using your feet to score and you want us to use our arms and throw ourselves all over the ground. And then you want to start telling us, oh, you're playing the wrong game. No. Let's have a fair ground.
Charity.
But the Constitution provides a fair ground.
I'm done. The Constitution was.
provides a fair ground to each and every person. Both the male and the female.
Let her finish. Sorry.
Okay.
Let me say one thing, The reason as to why women are not standing up, it's because we don't know what we'll be turning up to. These animals in parliament want to eat us alive. Why should I sacrifice myself
To go be eaten.
to go be eaten? By people in the likes. No. Be a gentleman. Come on.
Let me security.
Why should we sacrifice ourselves? I feel as if women are uneducated about politics. And not in the wrong way. It's because men have changed what politics means.
Yeah, you're giving us wrong names.
Politics is a messy game. I agree with that. It's a dirty game. But how far is it allowed? How much is it supposed to be dirty? So much that I'm elected as the governor or the senator and allow a ferry with two people, passengers,
In fact, it's women.
to go inside the ocean. Until now, I don't have the
They haven't
bodies.
empowered.
We are really sorry for that.
I'm
I
sorry
really
for
pity the family, by the way.
You pity the family, but pity
But,
doesn't bring them back to life.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, true.
I know. They are gone.
We cannot
Let me tell you,
But-
Kenyans, it's our mentality that.
So I believe if a woman was a governor there, these people could not have...
Who said so? Who said
It's not
so?
about being a woman.
It's not about being a woman. It's about taking responsibility.
Yes.
It's about doing the job you are hired to do. It's about making us feel as if we have a leader in place.
It's clear
I want to
someone
tell you
is
one thing. No, I want to tell you one thing. I even forgotten my point. Your argument was way.
I said you just give me what your future plans, like what will you ensure gender equality?
What would
I've said about educating
How will
women,
you-
yeah. The other thing was fair grounds. I agree with her totally. I agree with her fair. I think that's all I have for points.
Rocky, yes.
One thing I'll start by saying, fair ground is provided by the Constitution.
But the
Which
men of
fair
the state
grounds?
do not want
Which
to-
constitution do you know?
The Kenyan Constitution, it has provided a dada for women to be there. Each and every
Pity
person.
marks. You're giving us pity marks.
Pity marks how?
Pity marks. You're giving us Enyemebaki give it to women.
No. They're
Okay, fine. Let's just. You're saying it's clear that it's equal when we have 1/3. What is happening to the 2/3?
Eh, is that equality? How do I understand
Ama-
equal? Equal is
One
1
thing,
is equals to 1, not 1 is equals to 2.
Yeah, unless you're telling us a third
Or one
is
out of
for
two.
men, another third
half,
is
exactly.
for women, and the other third is for children. The ones you don't want in parliament. That would be equal. But if you're giving us a third and then the 2/3 are yours, no,
I feel as if when we narrow down to a third, we are only giving opportunity to the guys who are in higher hierarchy. Let's open up. Let's not say women
I'm
should.
speaking of equality, you know.
Exactly.
I'm speaking of
Listen.
equality.
Yeah.
I understand it's supposed to be
Not
there
fair
to
representation.
create that. But then the thing is, if we open that bracket and say, let's just have the best candidates in parliament.
Not the best man or woman.
Not the best man or women, because now we're going to give the who's and who's who live in Karen, the farmers, the guys, when you have you seen the Kenyan politics, how it's going? I'm the daughter to this, so I become the this or that. I think then my daughter becomes this.
They spoke about capability. They spoke about capability, and these people are being elected there. That means the people have seen that these people are capable to stand there.
Who said?
That's why they have been elected.
That's why you give shillings to people.
Why do you elect them? Why do you elect them?
Let me tell you.
Okay, then we have to have the integrity.
Let me add to
on
that.
that.
She said that the system is not fair.
Exactly.
Because we have so many MPs in the parliament. So I'm not backing you, but I'm just giving.
Just be honest. If you're backing me, you're backing me.
No, I'm not.
If you're choosing your people, it's okay.
There are so many people in the parliament, as you've said, that they are there, but you are asking yourselves, how did they win these elections? How did they win? For sure, you are asking, like, I'm sure some of you are asking, how did Babowino manage to be a member of parliament, his speech?
And in most cases, you realize that the questions you have, the main question marks are usually on the main side. Do you realize? I'm not going to bring out the man and woman thing, but I don't know if I've sat down and had people discussing, this woman got this position, how? How? But for the men, we cannot even start counting. They're just new. It's a whole list of the men. You're like, how did you get here? How?
So finally,
I
would like to give one of you a minute, just to tell the entire public what they should do. They're supposed to be listening to us. We are the face of Kenya. We as the youth, we are representing Kenya. So when they see us, they say, now, these people are talking pretty ideas. Now, apart from the arguments we had, now on a serious note, starting from Pascalia, Roque, then Charity, in 1 minute, what can you tell the public? And especially we encourage women. We tell men that actually men, please support also women, because men want to fight for their own positions and living men, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what can you tell them? On a lighter note, please.
Yes, this is going to be a very light note. I think just what I'm pressing on is the mentality we have. I feel like you people, the audience, the public, he doesn't need to have security to live here, because none of us is going to eat him. All of us are just, we are sitting here and none of us has even thrown our fist. This is a sign of a good example.
Yes.
We have different ideas, different opinions. We have diverse ways of thinking. But it should not be it should not be your identity, yeah? You should be open-minded. And I think with us being open-minded includes listening to others and you speaking as well to give people ideas, yeah? So as much as we listen and speak to each other, that is how we get to understand each other. That is how we get to comprehend our environment, the lifestyle we have, and everything will just work out. And you've said about the youth. Yes, it's the youth, not a woman youth or a male youth. So let's just have the youth
In general.
Yeah. In simple, what I can tell to the public outside there, first of all of us, you have to come up. You have to turn up during election times. Most people are trying to avoid coming up during election because they're saying that if I vote for this person, he will still fail. But it's good to take a try. Come up to all the ladies out there. Turn up at least in order and come to politics. Yeah.
We're coming.
What I'll have to say is, just as everyone had an opinion here, there's no greater thing, there's no greater strength than your voice. Don't give someone else the opportunity to tarnish that. When men come and lie to you, tutawasaidia, tutawasikiza, we'll go represent you, don't fall for that fool. Instead, go for the better politician who doesn't have to bribe you to vote for him or her.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are all agreeing that we need fair. We are supposed to live here. We are all contented. So
I hope you are as well.
There's
No security.
no. It was just an lighter note. I was just alerting him because you are.
No.
I was almost running out. I was almost running because
why? Because you have candidates that do not have. No, it's wrong. I don't like that.
So therefore, to the